Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Friday the 26th of June. It's a Friday frenzy, people. Buckle in, we have got a load of mods to get through. We have got some brilliant mods to get through. Plus, 2 new maps today. One by Xylax04, I hope I don't say this wrong, Sibukovo. And Sandy Bay has released 2. I will be doing, hopefully later on, the review or a tour of Sandy Bay. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll get on to the other one. I'll get as much done as I possibly can. So, updates for today are as follows. There have been updates to the John Deere 948L2 by North Modding Company, the Open Cow Pasture by Foo Farmer, the Fendt 6275L by ETA Le Machoise, the Silo King Trailline System by DD Mod Passion, the Sack Potato Pallet by MMN's Mods, and then the Decorative Pallets Pack by Sphinx have all had updates today. So off the back of that update that I've just said, the Decorative Pallets Pack by Sphinx, we're going to have a quick look because, hang on, it's under Pallets. We had a load of stuff, wood and so I used to load this in a Homukra, but edition 2 we've now got garden shed, foam box, metal sections. If you're going down that route of, you know, doing the let's play with a narrative and a storyline and you want equipment and stuff delivered, these are brilliant. Mobile toilet, doghouse, letter boxes, bins to be delivered, glass containers, you know, you name it. So a whole load of new stuff has been added into that. I think it said 21 new pieces. Yeah, addition of 21 additional pallets have been added into that pack. So, and a breathe. Straight on with it. In front of us we've got the Kuhn HR4004 by NicoPix. This is a power harrow. We do already have this in game, and with one of the mods that came in, one of these can also be used to create fields. However, this is a different, I say it's a different one. It's the same one, but there are some different options available on this. So we'll find this under power harrows. I apologise if it feels like I'm rattling through. I'm not trying to do any of the modders a disservice, but I've got to get through it all. So there's the standard one, the HR4004. That's the modded one where you can then create fields with it with an additional mod. But this one here on the end, same price, same width, 4 meters, 100 horsepower required. It is a power harrow, but with this one you can have it standard like that as a power harrow as is. You can have it with the 3-point and PTO, so you can have the power harrow, then you can put a seeder behind it if you want to, so do your power harrow and seed at the same time. And then you can have it with the track loosener, which puts one in front there just for rough tracks and stuff where the ground's been compacted, and all ridge markers, and so you can have track and ridge markers, whichever one of those you want to go down the route of. The main difference being that on the standard version you get all of it. That's what you get. On this one you've got the option to have and, or, some, all of, none of, whichever you want to go for. So this one is by, I said, you know, NicoPix. This will use 8 slots, and it gives you a cultivated state. Moving on, we've got this. This is the Lizard VG trailer. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. It's a small trailer designed for bales and logs and other bits and bobs, whatever you want to put on it. It's entirely up to you. It does have straps on the bed, which you can either do externally like this or from the cab, as you can do with most straps. When you attach up to it, you do have the option to put this little rear tailgate down. So if you're going to put pallets or something like that on it, you can do that too. It's only a small one, but nice, neat little package. If you're going to be doing a small farming operation, you might want to go and just get a couple of seed pallets or whatever it is you're doing. It really isn't up to you. That's it, the Lizard VG trailer. This you'll find now. I had trouble finding this. Why did I have trouble finding this? I think it was under miscellaneous, not under trailers. There are so many mods today. What, we got 17 new mods today, I think. So trying to remember where they were and also remember what all the features were is mind-bending. Anyway, here it is. You can have it in galvanised, which I actually do like the galvanised one. We can change the rim colour to anything on that palette. So for example, if you want to go for yellow. Design colour, you can have it in the galvanised, you can have red metal, you can have yellow metal. I thought the yellow would stand out a little bit more, but the galvanised is the one I personally prefer. Then we can have lizard, tyre brand, or Trelleborg. The Trelleborgs are a little bit smaller, it's a little bit leveller, and then the lizards are a little bit bigger. So there you go, that will use 3 hole slots. Moving on, we've got this. This is the Sopema leveller. This is by NicoPix. This is a silage bunker silo leveller. It's designed to be hooked up to, as you can see, a telehandler. This comes in various different lengths, so depending on the size of your bunker silo. The great thing with it being on a telehandler is when you hook it up, you can extend the boom on the telehandler so you can level kind of front and back over fairly long distances. I'll be totally honest with you. There are no other features. It doesn't tilt or anything like that. That's all done from the telehandler side of it. It's like a big old lump of iron with the leveller bit on the front of it. This you'll find under levelers, and we have a few options here. We can change the main colour from red to yellow. We can come out a little bit. We can have it in 4 metre. I'm going to come out a bit more actually. 4 metre, 5 metre, 6 metre, 7 metre, or 8 metre. Back to 4 again. Like I say, add that to the telescopic boom on a telehandler, and you've got quite a reach on that for levelling whatever it is you want to level. That uses, how many slots was that? 2 slots for that. 4,765 to buy. Right, moving on, we're down onto the field now. So in front of me here we have got the Concrete Details pack. This is by Camelos 0397. These are various different things you can place down all over the place. If you've got those maps where you have like boggy areas and you have these like concrete things embedded in the mud, these actually can be placed fairly close to each other. I've managed to get them kind of within, you know, a very small distance. I dare to say what it was, 4 or 5 inches maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty handy. There's some large concrete pads, and we've got this for logs as well. There's a circle, yeah, it is a circle, concrete circle as well. I'm not quite sure the purpose of that, what that's for, but anyway. There is a concrete circle in this little pack too. This you'll find under placeables under placeables, decoration. I'm sure it was decoration. I missed the brick wall. There is a brick wall too. The brick wall's 14 slots. The others, they're varying slots. They're not particularly high, and once you've got the first of each, you'll see the slot counts drop to 1s and 2s. Actually, all 1s pretty much. So actually, what we'll do is let's put a brick wall down. We can have a look at that in a second. So we've got the brick wall, concrete barrier, log holder, concrete plate 1.5 metre by 3 metre, concrete plate 1 metre by 3 metre, concrete plate 10.5 by 10.5, 10 metre by 10, and the concrete circle 2 metre by 2 metre, or 2. Hang on, what's that? 2 metre by 2 metre. That would be a circumference or a diameter, wouldn't it? I assume 2 metres. That's all the things you get in that pack, and as we've just seen, they're placed pretty well. It might be you're looking for something. I don't know if you can place on top of these though. That's an interesting and valid point. I wonder if you can. If we've got something small we could put on top of this. Let's try and put a sandcastle on top. Yeah, no, that's not particularly handy then. I mean, I suppose you just have it as a. But we've got textures and stuff as well. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. It's there. If you want to be using any of the concrete bits out of this, feel free to do so. That was by Camelos 0397. Moving on, we've got this. I like this one a lot. I like a lot of the mods today, I'll be totally honest with you. This is the Fendt 4S. This is by Paolo 5090R. We're getting a lot of these older little classic looking tractors, open cab ones. It's brilliant. It's only a little, I think it's 80 horsepower, and it is really cheap. So it's another one of those ones, you want a little shunting tractor for around the yard for doing a few odd jobs. 3-point link on the back, tow hitch on the front, but with the front lifter mod, that one that's a little 3-point link that will attach to trailer hooks, you could put a 3-point link on the front of that if you wanted to. Whether that be realistic or not, you know. Nicely detailed little mod. Pretty cool indeed. This you'll find under vehicles, under small tractors. 15 grand. That's all. for an 80 horsepower tractor. That's brilliant. There are loads of mods and accessories and various things that only require fairly limited horsepower. If you're going to be doing tedding or maybe a little bit of mowing or a bit of raking, I mean, there are so many mods now that run on very low horsepower equipment. 15 mile an hour top speed. This is how many slots on console? I've lost it on my list. Trouble is I've got so many things on this list. 4. It's only 4 slots as well. Can't argue with that, can you? Options available. We can have it as is. We can have it with a rotating beacon on that side. We have wheel setup R34 TM600s, or we can have it with the R34 yield bibs, which gives you the slightly bigger. I think that's what I went for, the yield bibs, but I think that's probably my favourite on the R34 TM600s. Horsepower doesn't change, you can't do anything about that, but why would you want to? Beacon, lights on or off. I say in cab. In the seats, let's just say, in the saddle. This is cool. I can see this making an appearance pretty soon somewhere. Who knows? But there you go. That is the Fendt 4S by Paolo 5090R. Very cool indeed. I'm going to use that again in a second, because our next mod we're going to be looking at is this. Now, I saw these on another farming related game recently. This is a herbicide or fertilizer sprayer, and it's done by Fan, and they're used for going between orchards and vineyards, and it kind of sprays it out in a mist kind of either side, and it's fairly narrow, so it'll go down the rows between. That's what it's designed to do. This is another one by BlackSheep. This is the OBE Jolly AA. It's a fairly small little tank on this, but it's got rather a cool little... Well, it's not a trick up its sleeve, it's just one of its features, but I think it's pretty impressive. Another nice mod. This you'll find under Tools, under Crop Protection. So it will take liquid fertilizer or herbicide, and it will spray out to 36 metres, which is pretty cool. It's only got a 3,500 litre tank. That said, you combine that with the front tank like the PF 1500, and there's a few other ones knocking about. You can seriously increase the capacity of that and give you some pretty cool spraying options. That will use... that's only 4 slots as well. So if you're on console, like what I is on PlayStation 4 Pro, yeah, 4 slots, that's pretty good. So what we'll do, let's hook it up to this. There's 2 mods we're going to get to in a little while. I've suddenly realised I didn't check. So we'll turn it on. Hope this comes out in a spray. Oh, look at that. Now, that doesn't look to me like that's spreading out to 36 metres. Is that me? Did I just read that wrong? Did that say 3.6 metres? Or does that say 36? Am I losing my mind here? Because I was like, that's phenomenal. That's absolutely fantastic. That's really impressive. That says 36 metres. So why is that only spreading? That's got to be a typo then. Oh man. Well, that's just ruined my day, that is. Now, let's just open that up. Is there an option to change it at all? No. Oh, come on. I suppose at the end of the day it's supposed to go between rows, but... Oh, come on. I was really hoping... Well, that did not like that turn. That's really not what I was hoping for. I mean, don't get me wrong, the animation's fantastic, it looks really cool. Oh well. That will teach me for not checking it before. I think had it have only been like a 3 or 4 mod day, I probably would have done, but I just assumed. I made an assumption. You know what they say about assumptions? Anyway, it is there. Maybe it's 3.6 metres. not 36. Never mind. And with slight egg on my face, a lot of egg, a box of eggs on my face, I'm moving on. Hey people, it's Friday. Something for the weekend, sir. A 3-metre cultivator. That's right, the 3-metre cultivator aficionados are going to be having the weekend of their dreams. We have this. This is the Lizard Front FlexRol 3-metre by Rafiki. This is a front-mounted cultivator. It cultivates to a 3-metre width. We've got the option to change the colour on this and add some weights, I believe. This was under... Now. Did I find this under disc arrows in the end? It wasn't where I thought it was going to be. Yes, disc arrows. FlexRol 3-metre, 7,500 to buy. This will only use 13 slots. That's fairly high. We can have the main colour or anything off that colour palette you should choose. And then we can have it standard as it is there, but on those 2 metal bars we can have it with 600 kilogram weights if we want to use it as a kind of front weight as well, if you're running it in conjunction with something else maybe hanging off the back. So I honestly remember what I said, we've got a lot of mods to get through. This could easily be an hour long, but we will get them all done. I don't really want to do it in 2 parts, so. And there we go, it cultivates to 3 metres. Following the terrain, bouncing up and down the 3-point link. There we go, that's the Lizard FlexRol 3-metre by Rafiki. Moving on, we have got this. This is the Agrisem Agro Mulch 6-metre. This is a subsoiler, and as you can see, I have already tested. This will give you a ploughed state. Some subsoilers, there aren't many, but some subsoilers will give you a ploughed state, but will make it look like it's cultivated. This actually gives you a ploughed look. So this, in essence, is a plough, really. I mean, it's a subsoiler, but this will plough out to 6 metres, which is pretty good. It's a nice mod, lots of detail on it. This one was by NicoPix. You'll find this under subsoilers. 31,450 to buy. It will use 7 slots if you're on console. 230 horsepower required. Options available, there are none. You get it in Agrisem yellow. And that's it. Open it up. Now obviously I've already ploughed one way, but you'll see when I drop it down that it will give you the ploughed state running that direction. Even though it does have the baskets on the back, which would normally flatten out your seed bed a little bit, but it's designed to give you that. That's actually not what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop that off there. So there we go, the Agrisem Agro Mulch 6M by NicoPix. Moving on. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We've got this. This is the MMZ768B by FSSA modding team. This will use 30 slots. It's a trailer, as you can see. We had a small one of these recently, and this is a split back one. So you can tip one side or the other. You can change the grain tip, so you can have it tip left, tip right, and you scroll through the different options. So you go tip front left, front right, back left, back right, or combinations of that. Triple axle, well I say triple axle, swivel axle at the front. Really nicely detailed, this one. Few options available on this too. I love the wooden slat detail on that, going up to the top. So something about it, it's really cool. I like it. If it was a fixed axle I'd be over the moon, but you know how I feel about a swivel axle. Anyway, this you'll find under trailers. The MMZ768B, only 9,700 to buy, so really cheap as well. So that's got obviously something else in its favour. It is 30 slots, which is pretty high, but it takes all those crop types and stuff down the bottom. Yeah, the slot count is... I think we had this in one of these before. The price was really low, but the slot count was really high, and it becomes that trade-off, you know. How desperately do you want it, and how desperately do you want to save money? If slots don't bother you in the slightest, then it really is irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. We can change the rim colour to anything of that. It's got a fairly drab palette, I guess. If I go for a red, it makes it stand out a little bit more. Main colour, I think I went for the orange again, so it just stood out a little bit more. And then design colour is the chassis itself. I'll go for, let's go for a lighter grey, kind of a greyish brown on there. Then we've got capacity, 12,000 litres, like so. We can go up to 17,000 litres, so that'll be split front and back. Then we can have 20,000 litres, which adds the wood on there. Or we can go up to 28,000, which adds the extra wood on and changes the wood colour slightly as well. So 28,000 litre capacity, and we're only up to 10,510 to buy. So that's pretty good for a 28,000 litre capacity trailer. Design, we can have standard, we can have remove spare. Now the spare is underneath, so we go back one, there's a spare under there. The spare under there. Remove that. We can remove decals on the side, just all those decals will just disappeared, like so. Or we can have remove decals and spare, or then go back to how it was standard. Then wheel setup, we can have standard or standard. It's just different tyre treads on those. Those are your options available. Like I said, you can tip. Let's cut very quickly. Like so. It's a really nice animation, I do like these. And the fact that you could take different crops, so one crop in the front, one in the back, two different crops, or just load it all up with one crop, whatever you want to do. I'm going to open the help menu. I think I just pressed the right button, but for some reason that didn't feel like it did what I wanted it to. There we go. Back left, so we can do the back one too. Like so. Very nice indeed. Nicely detailed, nice animations. Pretty cool. That's by FSSA modding team. Yeah, that's right. Did I say too many S's then? No, I didn't. Next, we have got this. This is the Lizard ADT16. This by StephaneModding. It's a tipper trailer. It's fairly bare, I suppose, in comparison to the last one with all the detail and stuff on it. This will still use 17 slots though. It's fairly high on the slot count. Let's just close that off. Texturing isn't quite as good. You can see the kind of almost like pixelation on the side there. I'm just being honest with what I can see. I'm not, you know, not bashing anybody. I'm just saying it is what it is. This you'll find also under trailers. The Lizard ADT16, 21,500 litres of capacity. It will take all those crop types along the bottom there. We can't change the capacity, it's 21,000 litres. And you can have a change between Trelleborg, Nokians and Lizards for the tyre choices. And that's it. It tips like so. Job done, so to speak. What I am going to do though is use this for the next mod we're going to have a look at. Now, this was the one I was saying a little while ago. I forgot to check this. I'm not sure price wise. I mean, at the end of the day, it's always difficult to do price comparisons because there are so many mods available now where you can buy seed and fertilizer. There are silos where you can buy anything. There are ones specific to seed and fertilizer. There are pallets, there are pallet mods, there are larger, you know, there are big bags. Someone asked me recently if I could do a review of them, and I said, in all honesty, the amount of different things that you can buy, have placed, it would be an absolute minefield to set up. Have a fiddle around with them. The premise behind these being these are small silos, they're mini silos. So if you want buy anything silos, I say buy anything, buy seed and fertilizer. This one does solid fertilizer, this one does seed, and they're small. They're not going to take up a huge amount of room, so if you want to place them somewhere to be able to go and buy things, you absolutely can. These are not storage silos, these are buy silos. These are by Rowley Christie 1, sorry. You'll find these in placeables under miscellaneous, I think they were. There we go, 9,000 each to buy and place, and these were only one slot each actually. When I first placed them, only one slot each. What I'm going to do is put I should have got a trailer. There's not a 1,000 litre trailer in honesty, but maybe a 4,000 litre trailer would have been easier to work out. Now it does say on the Farming Simulator website Modhub, if I get that to work next to me, it says galvanised seed and fertiliser silos are unique and ideal for not wasting space on your farm. Although the price is high, if you buy seed or fertiliser you'll be charged 20% less, which is weird because you can only buy seed or fertiliser. So the price is either high or it's 20% less, and when it says 20% less than what? I'm not sure. So what we'll do... Now obviously you're only going to get small trailers under these as well. So that's my fertiliser. 811 with 634 litres. Actually that's not too bad. I'm thinking for 1,000 litres that wouldn't have been too much actually. I suppose it's, yeah, it's not horrendously overpriced or priced. Let's put it on the floor. And then the other one will do your seed. If, like I say, you only get small stuff under this. No, I'm nowhere near with the trailer. Let's try that. Seed. Now that's not bad at all. 1,168 litres for 840 for seed. That's not a bad price. Hang on a minute. For a big bag of seed, for 1,000 is 900. So it's a little bit cheaper than getting pallets. But like I say, there are so many different options available. It's really difficult to do a comparison. But they are there. They are mini silos for buying seed and fertiliser. By Rowdy Christie 1. Moving on. What next? I'm going to get to these. Don't worry, they're going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to. I'll get through the buildings first. Actually, you know what? Let's do this on the way over. We're here, so let's do it. This is my new favourite lorry. The NMC Griffin is. I mean, it's difficult to say, but this is the MAN TGS Agro Truck. This is by Virtual Farming 2K19. What I like about this is that kind of thing of taking trucks onto fields. Some people do it, and when you watch a lot of real life farmers online, they do it all the time. It depends on how solid your ground is, how stable it is, and don't get me wrong, they often get the truck stuck when the ground is soft. A lot of people don't. They'll use chaser bins. A lot of people will say never ever put a truck on a field. The beauty with this mod, we've got flotation tyre options on this. This is an agro truck. It's designed to be used on fields and do jobs like that. It's got some really nice features. It looks brilliant. And that's a personal preference. I think it looks brilliant. You might hate it, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic. We've got the option of weights and this air system thing. Now this, as far as I can tell, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, I looked up online, I couldn't find anything about this. I think it's so from in-cab you can adjust your tyre pressures. So if you are going off-road, through mud, through stuff, you can actually adjust it from in-cab. And the air compressors adjust the tyre pressures accordingly, I think. Unfortunately, in-game on console, you can't do that, but the system is there on there. It's just an extra feature on it. This will go up to a 550 horsepower, which is really cool. You can have it with the weights on the back like that, or in standard fifth wheel configuration, so you can use it as a normal truck as you want to. That is with the bull bar kind of cow catcher situation on the front. But if you have it standard, which has the trailer hitch, again you can use the front lifter mod, and that will hook up to it, and you can have a 3-point link on the front if you want to go down that route. It's a nice mod. Like I say, I'm liking it a lot. So this you will find under vehicles, under trucks. It's not overly priced compared to any of the others realistically. This will use, how many slots was this? 37. It's a bit high in the slot count, but compared to some of the other ones, 24, 21, 17, I suppose it is up there a bit. 44 I suppose for the Griffin, so no, I'm not anything too horrendous. We can change the rim colour to anything on that pallet, for example, like so. Our main colour, again, I do like the Gens green. Actually, it doesn't look too bad with the orange either. Now, like I say, on the back we have got a fifth wheel attacher. It does also have trailer attachers and stuff on the back with a PTO attachment on there too for running gear off the back if you want to. It's an agro truck after all. But if you want to put weights on, you can have one weight or these menus, or two. I don't think you can put a third on. Oh, you can. 3. Oh, is there more? I only went to 2 before. Oh, blimey, okay. You can have 4 weights on there. So if you are running a load of gear, maybe something heavy on the back or whatever it might be, and you want to keep that back axle planted, so you don't get too much wheel spin, but then of course there's that trade-off, you don't want it to dig into the mud. You can have 4 weights on there if you want to go down that route. We'll go back to standard. Wheel brand, you can have Trelleborg, Michelin, Lizard. Mitres automatically put those wider flotation chunky tyres on there, which looks brilliant. So under Trelleborg we can have standard, we can have wides. That's it. Under Michelin's we've got standard, wide, and then you've got broad wheels plus RDA, and that's that air system, which puts that air system tank on there, and the metal bits and like little tubes that go onto each of the hubs. I did find one website that referred to RDA as being like a hub cleaning, sort of it blows air through to keep your hubs. I'm not sure if it's that. Could be a combination of both in all honesty. And then there was that option as well, so you can have it with more knobbly tyres too under Michelin's, and then we go to Lizards, standards, or crawler track. I mean, in all honesty, that looks fabulous. Again, that's my own personal preference. I think it looks just wow. Anyway, and then miters standard or with the RDA system too, which again I think just looks brilliant. That's why I left that on the ones I've got there and not on the thumbnail. I suppose I could have gone with the tracked option, but a lot of people don't like tracks necessarily. They might have looked at that and gone, oh, that's horrible, why has anyone done that? But I just think it's great. Then design options, we can have that with the sort of hazard mark sections down, up, or both. I like it both, but again, personal preference. Agro truck, no, or you can have agro truck arches that come out a little bit further. And then with decal that puts agro truck on the side, or back to normal. That's quite cool. Then attaches standard or with bumper on the front. With the bumper on the front gives you that kind of cow pushery type situation. And then we've got our options on engines. So we've got the 500 horsepower TGS 18500 Agrar, and then we can have the normal. Now what that does is puts that sticker on the side. So Agrar puts the 60 mile an hour limit sticker on the side, or not, and then we can go up to the 18550 550 horsepower. Again, with or without the 60 mile an hour sticker decal on the side. So yeah, I mean, wow. Start it up. Look at those tyres. Love it. Lights are no slouch either. We've got beacons on the top. Turn those off. Lights. Then full spread on there, which is pretty cool. What we've also got is the step down there. If we go R1 and right, no. I'm opening the help menu. I do this every single time. It was L1. I'm going to get L1 and right stick side to side. Moves that step up out the way, so it gives you better ground clearance. So you're not going to clout that step when you're going over stuff, which is rather cool. L1 and R1. And right stick side to side can do that, so you can tip your cab forward with you in it as well. So if you need to do any repairs on the fly, if you want to get under there and look at the engine, which again is really nicely detailed under there. L1, R1, right stick back like so, and then L1, R1 and right stick up and down. Got to make sure I do it the right way, like so. Oh, this is driving me mad. Right. Does the sunroof. Like so. So up and down does the sunroof. If any of you are used to PlayStation control, you'll know that when you're doing the stick, trying to get it directly up and down, I'll try and push it one side more than the other, so I'm push it up and to the left and down and to the left. We'll do that only. If you even go slightly to the right, you're going to get all the rest of the stuff that happens. But anyway, I think it's absolutely mint. What a cool bit of kit for various different tasks around the farm. Like I say, the the fifth wheel attached. I did go for 4 on there. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, fifth wheel attachment on there. But like I said, that one there, if you go with the front lifter mod and attach that on like that, you can have a 3-point link on the front as well. I mean, you could do the same on the back as well if you want to, but it gets a little bit confusing with options available and whatnot. But there you go. That's the Man TGS Agro Truck by Virtual Farming 2K19. Fantastic. What a cool mod. Right. Moving swiftly on. I'm very conscious of the fact I'm up to about 35 minutes. That's not good. So we've got this. I thought we'd already had this. Am I going mad? I really thought we'd already had this. This is the Small Polish House by Driver 300. I thought we'd had this one already. It's saying new. This is a Sleep Through the Night Trigger farmhouse. Nicely detailed. There's loads of detail on the inside as well. Willkommen. I think we've got... Do the light switches work? I'm sure I said that last time. I'm sure I looked around one of these before and said, oh, the light switches don't work. Sleep trigger is just there on the inside. Like I say, loads of detail. This will use 26 slots. You'll find it under placeables, under farmhouses. So, under placeables, under farmhouses. Right there, 50,000 to buy, and like I say, 26 slots to place if you want that on your farm. Moving on, we've got this over here. This is the Dairy Cow Pasture. This is by Farmer 1602. This is another one of those pastures you can put out and take your cows out to pasture during the spring, summer months, or summer months, whatever you want to do. Right through autumn, and as you head towards winter you can bring them back into the barns or stables or whatever you want to do. Now usually with these, with Seasons mod on, they will eat the grass on the inside, which is pretty handy. Without Seasons mod, you just have to feed them as you normally do, and there are feed triggers. We've got a water trigger, we've got a feed trigger in the middle. But what normally happens is you can do that and you can add a bit of realism to what you're doing, but they don't produce milk and they don't produce slurry or manure. But on this one, they do produce milk. So you won't get slurry or manure, but they will still continue to produce milk. That needs to be collected from here. It does say on the Modhub that they do it, it needs to be collected morning and evening. I'm sure it said that. Am I losing my mind? Water trough is available. I could have sworn I said. You will need to collect the milk production in the morning and evening after each milking and take it to the dairy or store it in a tank that you have to install in your farm. There is an option on there. It shows you a mod you can download for storing, but obviously that's probably PC, I would imagine. It could be in the Modhub. But anyway, so they will still do milk. So that's a better kind of option, I think, personally. The fact you've got these little details in here as well. I love that little milking machine. There's a couple of thank yous on there to Rowley Christie 1 and to Blacksheep Modding for a couple of the mods, giving them availability to those. So this is by Farmer 1602. This will hold 100 cows. Buy, sell, load or unload trigger is there, so you might want to have this as your main one. If you're not bothered about slurry or manure and you just want the milk without the hassle of all of that, this might be a better option. It's got a fairly large footprint. That said, it did allow me to place it with that tree in the middle. So that obviously that's not part of the mod. That was just here on the ground already. And obviously your ground wants to be as flat as you can possibly get it for it to work better. This you will find under placeables, under animal pens. 50,000 to buy for 100 cows. That's not too bad at all. And it will, unless I'm going insane, when I first looked at this, it said 2 slots. That will only use 2 slots. That's mad and brilliant all at the same time. But there you go. So Dairy Cow Pasture by Farmer 1602. Very cool indeed. I've just realised I've missed a mod. We'll get onto that in a second. I've missed 2 mods. I just remembered. Oh blimey! This is the Witchy well. This is by Alien Jim. Jim, please do loads more mods. Just mod everything. Everything you've modded for your maps. Mod it all. Please, be amazing. This is a placeable wishing well, and you get paid per hour for people's wishes. Seems a little bit mercenary to me, but there you go. Look. Oh, that's nice. It's Witchy's well. So it's Witchy Bex. If any of you don't know who Witchy Bex is awesome. She's out there on loads of the forums. She's a good friend to loads of YouTubers and modders and people out there. She's really, really nice, Witchy. So it's Witchy for Witchy Bex. That's really cool. I like that. Oh, that's mint. Fantastic. When you buy this and place it, you'll get paid 50 per hour on easy, 25 per hour on normal, and 10 per hour on hard. 3 slots to place. You'll find it under placeables, under, I think it was decoration. Oh, that might not have been decoration. Under miscellaneous. 900 to buy and place. Got there in the end. And only 3 slots to place as well. Very cool. Right, this one. We'll get onto that. This one is an interesting one. This is the Lizard Reach Mower. This is by oxygendavid. Now, this does say in the Modhub, on the website, how it was now, this will work. It might have been in the store actually. This will work. This is under tools. I'm going to show it in here first. Under mowers. No, that's not mowers. Under mowers. It says mowers cut grass. Wow, I'm losing my mind. Where did I read this? Oh, it was in the main Modhub where you download it and install it. It did say that this is, you can use this for cutting the hedges that you plant and grow on Sandy Bay, because Sandy Bay was released today. So on Sandy Bay you can plant hedges, grow them, and this you can then cut the hedgerows by the sides of roads and stuff like that. So you can cut the grass and the hedges, which is really cool. It's 12,000 to buy. It will use 4 slots, so it's really, really low on the slot count. No options available, you get what you get. Let me just grab the JCB, where did I put that? So, it does have lights on the back. And your indicators and stuff like that. We'll turn that off. So it comes like so. When we unfold it, L1 and X. Swivels that round to the side. Then L1 and right stick up and down does that motion. Side to side does that motion. So if I go like that, and then like that, we can bring it right the way down. Then L1, R1 and rotate the head like so. And then bring it down a bit further, a bit further, a bit further. Rotate the head a bit more. Turn it on. And off we go. So we can mow by the sides of roads and things like that. Now obviously, if you're on a map, and Sandy Bay hopefully will be one of those ones. I haven't been on it yet on console, I'm doing the mod review first. It will mow in reverse too. Some mowers only go in one direction. So you could, if you wanted to, mount this on the front if you wanted to and still do the same job. But what you can do then is lift it like so, rotate the head like that, and then you've got that option to mow your hedges as you go along too. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. I know we've got that. There's another mod that's supposed to be coming out tomorrow, isn't it? Saturday. There's a mod coming out Saturday. Oh, my mind's gone blank. What's the name of it? Oh, there's too many mods. I'm just absolutely blanked. Which is like a self-propelled version of this. This one's an attached one. But anyway, whether it's going to come to console tomorrow, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's cool. I'm liking that a lot. So you can get a good reach on that. Well, I suppose you could do this thing. It's almost, if you wanted to, like a side mower. It's a bit excessive for a side mower, but it could be if you want it to be. Takes a bit of fiddling around, but you get there in the end. Actually, you can get away with it being fairly high off the ground too, and it will still cut. But there you go. That's the Lizard Reach Mower by oxygendavid. Very cool indeed. I'm going to say it again, I like that. I'm liking a lot of the mods today. What I can do now is if I put it up and back into its position like so, rotate that back round, and then fold it, it will swing it back round out the way, ready for transport back, and off you can trundle. Very nice indeed. Right, on to the last of the mods, I hope. I think it's the last of the mods for today. Oh, bear with me a second, I've got a couple of things to set up. Last, and absolutely by no means least, we have got this. This is the wood chipper, the Lizard TRex 900. Now we had one like this on FS17. This is by BlackSheep. This is a hook lift attached one. It can be used in conjunction with a hook lift trailer and can and will operate on the hook lift trailer. So if you're unloading into higher sided vehicles, that's probably preferable. It can also be unloaded, left on the ground and used to wood chip on the ground wherever it might be that you're doing your logging. There are a few options available on this. This is really cool. I like this. I liked using this before. This you'll find under forestry equipment. This will use 7 slots, nice and low, 60 grand to buy. It has a 5,000 litre capacity, so it will store up to 5,000, which a lot of the wood chippers generally do. And it wood chips. Options available, we can change the main colour to anything on that pallet. I just went for the standard because, you know, why not? Design colour, changes the door, like so, if you want to do that. And then we've got the option here to have it flat open-sided like so. We can have model 1 with high-sided guards, so stuff will kind of roll into it if you're going to be chopping stuff. Model 2, slightly lower sided guards, and then we go on to Model 3, which is colour coordinated high sided guards. Model 4, lower sided colour coordinated, and then back to standard again. Now these were always pretty good because they were pretty handy. Once you got hold of a log, you could drag entire trees through, so you didn't always need to chop them up. That would come down to operator skill, and the more you practice, the better you could get at it. Those are your options available. So what we'll do is hook up. What I'm going to do is switch to that. Now, like I say, I'm in the truck cab, but I'm operating it from inside. So L1, I'm going to open the help menu. So L1 and down on the D-pad has opened the pipe. If I unfold the wood crusher, it puts down that attachment bit at the front. Oh, it didn't do it on there. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, okay, well that's something. I'm glad I did it on here. Unfolding it opens up the cover and shows you the crushing rollers, like so. And then we can... Oh, I've got to turn it on because it's got a separate engine. Right, you can actually get into it. So what we'll do is get into it. Turn it on. Oh, stuff. I'm having a nightmare. Turn it on first. It's got its own engine too. And turn on the wood crusher. That thing will now operate. And what I can do if I want to, because it's got its own engine, I can go back to that, turn the engine off on the lorry. That will continue to operate, so I don't have to have the engine running on the lorry for that to operate. And then in go your logs and you do what you want to do. Very nice indeed. So what we are going to do now, let's jump up, get into it. Let's turn off the wood crusher. And then fold it back up. I'm going to drop it off. So we're now going to unload it off the hook lift trailer. Oh, now that's interesting. Now, as you can imagine from what you just saw, that did not end well. Word of warning, that does have rollers at the back, but when that unloads onto the grass, that did not like that at all. So I'm going to try that again, but this time I'm going to drive forward at the same time, so when it touches the ground, it doesn't cause the whole thing to catapult and end up on its roof. So yeah, you want to drive forward while it's doing that. It should roll backwards, but it didn't like it. So what I'm going to do now is move forward out of the way. Something I've already noticed on the grass is clipping through the base of that, like so. Okay, it's doing what it's doing. So we'll get into that. Now we'll unfold it. This time it puts that front bit down. When it was on the back of the trailer it didn't do that, but that gives you more access and ease of getting stuff into that. Pipe out, like so. And then turn on the engine, so start engine. Then turn on the wood crusher. Fantastic. This does also have lights, so it can work independently at night. You can light the whole thing up and you haven't got to worry. That's also very handy indeed. So I'm going to leave that running. What I'm going to do is grab the lorry, move the trailer underneath the back. And so, with the trailer moved into place, what we're going to do now, I've moved the harvester. I'll grab the harvester, tree cutter, however you want to refer to it. I'm not going to show you every conceivable way there is of doing this. Have a fiddle around with it yourself. Have a play with it yourself. Cut the tree. Now, to try and get an entire tree to go through this, you're better off coming at it from this angle, if you can. Now, in true form of showing off anything like this, you can bet your life it won't do it now. But hopefully, if I come at it like that, and do, I've got it set on 4 metre cuts at the moment, so what we'll do is that, drop it on, and the belt takes it no problem at all. Now what I can do, and I'm going to try to do, don't know how far I'm going to back this up, but if I can get that to come up to about there, what I'm going to do now is just release the tree. I'm not going to cut it, I'm going to release the tree. So if I turn off the harvest head like so, I was really hoping it was going to touch that onto there. So if that can roll just onto the belt, if I can give it a little bit of a shove, it should take the entire tree in. Oh, it says should. Like I say, you could probably do this in conjunction with other vehicles, but with the right stuff, you can get the angle to go just right and turn it at the right angle, which I haven't done, like I said, with a decent operator, of which I'm not. There we go. Please keep working. That belt is now gradually taking the entire tree. So if you get the angle just right on it, it's got the pipe a little bit. It's like a little sand in the pipe. Great. Nothing's going right today. That will now take that entire tree through. It's the beauty of this particular one because it sits on the ground. It works really well. You can leave that chugging away and off you go and get your next one, bring it back, and hopefully by the time you come back that's done. Or you can cut it in 1 metre, 2 metre, 3 metre, whatever lengths you want to do. Or if you want to, you cut them all and then get someone else to bring it, or you bring it over with a wheel loader and grab it. You can drop 3 or 4 logs on at a time, or however you want to do it. But it is an incredibly useful bit of kit. You can see already that's probably almost full. And that will stop now because the trailer's... Yeah, look at that. The last little bit's going in now. Let's put it forward. Now if it were to be too full and wouldn't allow any more, what this will do, as it said, that will hold 5,000 litres as well. So if you've got too much, it will take 5,000 litres and then it will put it in as it goes. So yeah, I mean, apart from that little bit of clipping, and obviously me not being the best person to probably demonstrate, this is really cool. I really like it on FS17. It's a brilliant mod. The Lizard TRex 900 from Blacksheep Modding. And that's the last of the mods for today. Again, I apologise for the length of the video. We had a lot of mods, 17 mods. There was a lot to get through. I apologise if I've missed anything. I'm likely to have, but at least you've got a kind of idea what's out there, what's about, what you might like, what you might not. If you have found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.